All, I'm Reet. I'm a PhD student in Hyderabad University, and I think so many of you have asked me to prepare a list of trendy topics in research, trendy areas, what area can get you selected. And I have come up with some of the areas, though I cannot assure you that a particular area is going to get you somewhere. Any area could do. So I don't think so area matters much or topic matters much. It is what are you doing with it that matters, of course, and how you're doing it. And it's very, can be very incidental also, if I tell you that way. Yeah. So okay, let's talk about different kind of research areas and topics. Basically, I don't know whether I'll able to give you some topics as such or not, but I can just throw some words here and there, and you'll have to research on that. That is what I can do at most, because एक चीज़ में इतनी depth होती है कि it's not possible for someone who is not specializing on that area to research so many on that. So I can just give you very briefly, I can touch upon different kind of topics and areas, and you might may be interested in some of them. So yeah, let's begin. These are basically collected from here and there. Like, I must have come across those research areas, I must have heard from someone else might be doing on those areas, or maybe or maybe I might have listened to it in certain conferences and workshops. So yeah, I have a list with me. I may be reading them, and yeah, okay. So now let me make it very clear that it is your duty to find a research gap and do an expansive sort of study and come up with something which is your own, or even maybe some sort of alteration. It's not that you can bring something very unique or life changing or something of that sort, revolutionary aisa kuch, but something that is your own and you are adding to that existing literature on that specific area. Okay, yeah. So sorry, I had to shift the place because there was a lot of noise going on there. Yeah, coming back to it, the research topics or areas that I'm going to talk about are more interdisciplinary, and interdisciplinarity is what is expected in most of the good central universities. Okay, so, and I think I must have earlier also talked about these words, and I'm going to talk about it again because this can be one of the areas that you want to work on. Yeah, first is hydrocolonialism, colonialism through waterways, and there's concept of ये environmental studies के अंदर भी fall कर सकता है. There's concept of environmentalism of the poor, environmentalism of the rich. You can work on blue humanities, where you can talk about fishing folks, fishing communities and all. There are so many works regarding fishing communities. So maybe you could take up some another area altogether, because this is what I've heard of, that people of Mumbai are doing some certain sort of research. Not people of Mumbai, but people are locating their research in Mumbai and doing on certain fishing folks and all. Yeah, you can work on eco-poetics, poems that explore environmental concern. You can talk about poems that explore this fishing folks, which I told initially also. And regarding environment only, you could work on coal mining, literature, bauxite mining, even gold, maybe history of that sort of thing. But yeah, you can do on that. And even I came across this word in one of the conferences, I suppose. Yeah, this thing called township environmentalism. So देख लेना, I'm just throwing words again. I told you can research more on that. So coming to communities, you can work on so many communities. Let's say I have come across a scholar who had worked on Syrian Christians. So work on caste and community among Syrian Christians. So you can also work on your own community. There are so many works on tribal communities, right? मैं अगर बात करूँ तो मुंडा कम्युनिटी में काफ़ी काम हुआ है, and then people of Kerala are doing on their own communities. One of the ma'am that in my department has done a work on her tribe, that is as far as Kodavu tribe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. She's from Karnataka, I suppose. Yeah, so that is, you can work on different kind of communities. That would actually be a very interesting area. Communities from Kerala, Jharkhand, UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, and where Uttarakhand and all. ठीक है, तो आप कम्युनिटी पे काम कर सकते हैं. लेट्स से आपको इवन आप जैनिज्म पे काम, इफ़ यू आर अ जैन यू कैन वर्क ऑन जैन्स, यू कैन वर्क ऑन बुद्धिस्ट लिटरेचर पे काम कर सकते हो. Even there are so many tribal communities which are yet to be explored. So research gap you can find on that. There are so many linguistic communities. You can work on different kind of languages. If you are from a Hindi belt, you can work on Hindi. If you are from any other belt, English belt, or like you can work on your regional languages, which I meant. So you can take up the area of translation even. So literature in different languages, that has also been very much Indian literature पे focus करते हुए you can work on these areas. But yeah, again, not all departments accept regional literature until and unless you have a translation of that. Other than that, you can also self-translate it. But yes, this is also there with regards to languages and different kind of literatures in different kind of languages. ओके, ठीक है. आप माइथोलॉजिकल टेक्स्ट पे काम कर सकते हो. देर आर सो मेनी वर्क्स रिगार्डिंग माइथोलॉजी एंड यू कैन वर्क ऑन क्वियर. लेट्स से माइथोलॉजिकल टेक्स्ट में कैसे क्वियर को दिखाया गया है. ये दिस वाज वन ऑफ द PhD papers. मतलब you will get many like it. Okay, so you can also work on modern retellings of these kind of mythologies. You can work on movies that concern mythology if you are looking at the broader perspective of mythology. You can work on aesthetics. You can, जैसे I think I told earlier in that in my dissertation I worked on violence as aesthetics. I mean aestheticizing violence. So that was there. So you can work on aesthetics. जिसमें you can work on tribal aesthetics, Dalit aesthetics, gender and aesthetics. You can work on visual aesthetics, जिसमें you can take up paintings. You can talk about photography. You can talk about different kind of art. Let's say Gond art. Let's say Madhubani paintings. I know these must be overworked areas, but then again, I'm just giving you some food for your thoughts. You can work on ads if you're working on cinema studies. Let's say visual aesthetics, you can work on advertisements which portray, let's say, women empowerment, which portray misandry, misogyny. What else? I mean, yeah, these are the areas you can think of. Regional cinema is also very popular. Telugu cinema is so popular. Tamil, even Malayalam, सारे languages पे you can work on. Even adaptations. I remember we had a course, film and literature, where there was so many adaptations of Macbeth. मकबूल तो एक हमें पता ही है, और मलयालम adaptation था जोजी करके, and then there was also adaptation Waiting for Godot का था, but Macbeth के भी काफ़ी सारे थे, which I am not able to recall as of now. There were more translations. How do I forget? और इसमें भी adaptations और literature, they are actually very fascinating. Until and unless I had a course on film and literature, I did not know about what are called adaptations. मतलब इस type के adaptations भी होते हैं. There are so unique varieties. Appropriation and adaptation are also very different thing. Taking inspiration is different thing. This is what I thought कि until and unless you have a proper course, तब तक आपको बहुत half knowledge होता है चीज़ों का. This is my realization again. Yeah, so yeah, you can work on different kinds of rituals. Like one of my seniors were working on Kumaoni tradition. तो Kumaoni language, Kumaoni traditions पे उन्होंने बात की थी. Let's say आप मिज़ोरम के हो, मणिपुर के, you can work on specific rituals of Mizoram and Manipur. You can work in this area that I have earlier also told about, medical humanities and disability studies, and these things borrow a lot from trauma studies, or trauma studies borrow a lot from, like, both are borrowing from each other. You can work on trauma and memory. It's again overworked, but everything is, if you ask me. Yeah, so there are like medical humanities, disability studies, memory studies, trauma studies are all interlinked in one way or the other. You can work in archival research, and this I have heard from people around me about different kinds of works that they have been doing. Let's say one of them told me about, and these are more historical, because historical research have their methodology as archival sources, right? They take a lot of archival sources, mostly, not, it's not limited to history only. It's like now it's so much of interdisciplinary method also. It's mixed method kind of thing. So yeah, so it's like it had this kind of line that how nationalism has configured itself in newspapers from this time period to this time period. Let's say how has Dalit question shaped itself in media from this time period to this time period. You have to choose your own methodologies, that is different thing, but this is just what I think of. Yeah, there has been topics related to plant and human subject. One of my friends is doing a research on topic. Her topic is on plant humanities, which is very interesting. I find her so interesting. She has interesting ideas, she has unique ideas, so that is interesting actually. You can work on popular culture, जिसमें you can work on comics, you can work on graphic narratives, you can work on और फिर कॉमिक्स में भी आप इंडियन नेचर के भी कॉमिक्स ले सकते हो. Yeah, you can work on philosophy if you're interested in philosophy. There are so many of my friends who are interested in philosophy, but मुझे philosophy बहुत टफ लगती है भाई. मुझे समझ नहीं आता how do people get, मतलब I am extremely interested in philosophy, but I'm not able to, I'll not be able to understand Hegel, Heidegger. मुझसे नहीं समझ में आएगा, मेरे पास इतनी बुद्धि नहीं है मुझे लगेगा, but ठीक है. Yeah, so different kind of philosophical frameworks can be used as your research proposal, in your research proposal, but again you can also center yourself towards philosophy. हमारे कोर्स एक होते थे लिटरेचर एंड फिलोसफी का, तो वो भी है. Okay, so there are let's say there are large discourses on death. Let's say you want to talk about death, you can corroborate from philosophy. You can talk about life you want. Yeah, so you can take up any one philosopher. You can, let's say, work on Arthur Schopenhauer. तुम पंचन तंत्र पे काम कर सकते हो, संस्कृत फिलोसफी पे काम कर सकते हो. मुझे याद आता है कि आप प्रिजन लिटरेचर पे भी काम कर सकते हो. शायद वो न्यूगेट नॉवेल्स ही थे जिसपे प्रिजन, इट वाज सेंटर्ड आउट प्रिजन. सो प्रिजन लिटरेचर कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ योर टॉपिक. यानी स्पेस, किसी स्पेस से करके, जैसे सिटी स्पेस है, कोई अर्बन स्पेस है, रूरल स्पेस है, तो उस पर भी हो सकता है. विलेज पे आपको करना है, फैमिली पे करनी है. जेंडर तो है ही इतना रेकरेंट टॉपिक. सो या ये फिलॉसफी के तो बोले, आप क्लासिकल इंडियन फिलॉसफी पे भी कर सकते हो. Yeah, I remember one of the professors that I met regarding my topic. She asked me to incorporate, if I'm talking about depression and bipolar disorder, I should also talk about philosophies like yoga, meditation, and all of that. Indian kind of Indian philosophies that would make things much more. I don't know. She told me this way, and I think yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. अगर आपको किसी एक लिटरेरी फिगर को स्टडी करना हो इन लिटरेचर, इन इंग्लिश और इंडियन और एनी लिटरेचर, यू कैन टेक अप वन लिटरेरी फिलोसोफर ऑल्सो और वन लिटरेरी फिगर ऑल्सो. ठीक है, लोग मैगजीन्स एंड पीरियोडिकल्स के साथ भी काम कर रहे हैं. आर्काइवल हो गया ये भी बहुत हद तक. ठीक है, एंड पोस्ट ह्यूमनिज्म, साइंस फिक्शन, डिजिटल ह्यूमैनिटीज, these are also very recurrent areas. One of my professors has his project on, he's working on YouTube, a broader area. I don't know the entire topic that is working, he has his project on. So it's like ki, you can take up any social media platform. Maybe you can work on reels, who knows. So what kind of trends and reels, अगर आपको digital narratives पे करना है तो मुझे खास idea नहीं है, but yeah, you can work on folk literature. You can, let's say, work on Bhojpuri, you can work on Magadhi, you can work on कुछ भी. ठीक है, फोटोग्राफी पे हो रहा है, डांस पे हो रहा है, कर सकते हैं लोग रिसर्च. मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी कि हर चीज़ एक्सेप्टेबल होगा एक डिपार्टमेंट में, लेकिन आप दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट में भी अप्लाई कर सकते हो, और ऐसा कोई ज़रूरी नहीं, बहुत बार लोग एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं, पता है, ठीक है। देयर आर सो मेनी वर्क्स ऑन रेफ्यूजी नैरेटिव्स, तो आप रेफ्यूजी नैरेटिव्स पे भी कर सकते हो। डायस्पोरा लिटरेचर इज़ वेरी currently also in vogue, and it has been quite in vogue for a quite number of period of time in HCU English department, ठीक है। माइग्रेशन पे काम हो रहा है, डायस्पोरा एंड माइग्रेशन, तो ये सारे एरियाज हैं जिस पे आप देख सकते हो। या सो देर आर फ्यू थिंग्स मोर। गोथिक लिटरेचर पे आप काम कर सकते हो, गोथिक सिनेमा पे आप काम कर सकते हो, एंड इवन लेट्स से गोथिक लिटरेचर इंडिया में कैसे इवॉल्व हो रहा है, और वेदर इट हैज़ सम गोथिकनेस इन इट, और गोथिक डिफिनीशन भी कौन सा, गोथिक डिफिनीशन भी आपका कैसे आ रहा है, क्या वो वेस्टर्न आइडिया को ही इंडिया में रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, या इंडिया का गोथिक स्टाइल इज़ डिफरेंट थिंग। क्राइम फिक्शंस पे आप कर सकते हो, साइकोलॉजिकल थ्रिलर हैज़ ऑलवेज फैसिनेटेड मी, एंड स्पेशली यू कैन वर्क ऑन इंडियन साइकोलॉजिकल थ्रिलर्स if they are any, and again the problem is with definition. How do you define that? Are you taking a western idea and then taking it as a standard and then working on Indian text? So that is there, that is also psychological thriller movie पे काम कर सकते हो, text पे काम कर सकते हो अगर आपको मिल जाए तो। अगेन मेडिकल ह्यूमैनिटीज़ में स्किज़ोफ्रेनिया पे भी बहुत सारे काम हो रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो मेंटल हेल्थ से रिलेटेड, रिलीजन पे भी आप कर सकते हो, अगर आपको रिलीजन वो थोड़ा सेंसिटिव हो जाएगा, बट या यू कैन टेक अप रिलीजन ऑल्सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट, ओके, एंड द यूनिवर्सिटी। इंग्लिश लिटरेचर डोमेन में यू कैन वर्क ऑन बुक्स दैट हैव बीन बैंड, लेट्स से कौन सा हुआ था, लेडी चैटर्लीज लवर, एक तो मुझे याद है सन्स एंड लवर्स भी शायद बैन हुआ था, पता नहीं। यू कैन मे बी वर्क ऑन बैंड बुक्स, देखो रिसर्च गैप आपको पता करना है, ठीक है। ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल टेक्स्ट पे काम कर सकते हो, मेमोइर्स पे काम कर सकते हो। लेट्स से किसी चाइल्ड ने अपना ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल टेक्स्ट चिल्ड्रंस लिटरेचर पे लिखा है क्या कुछ ऐसा, और उस पर क्या थीम्स और ये वगैरह वगैरह। फिर आर्किटेक्चर से रिलेटेड कोई अगर नॉवल है या आर्किटेक्चर से रिलेटेड आपको कुछ काम करना है तो उस पर भी आप कर सकते हो। फिर ये तो मैंने पहले भी बता दिया कि डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस के लिटरेचर पे यू कैन ऑलवेज डू दैट, वट एवर लैंग्वेज यू आर कंफर्टेबल विथ, वट एवर लैंग्वेज इज योर फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज और सेकेंड, वट एवर यू कैन वर्क ऑन भक्ति पोएट्री, पोएट्री, संगम लिटरेचर, and you can also work on, let's say, different kind of movements, student movements that has been happening around the world or around India, or let's say about slogans and protest literature. Protest have also been worked a lot, it also comes under popular culture. So ये सब चीज़ें आप मतलब कर सकते हो, देख सकते हो। तो मैंने तो ये सब बता दिया ऐसे, लेकिन आपको बाकी अपना फिगर आउट करना है कि आपको कुछ अच्छा ऐसा लग रहा है, फिर उस पर रिसर्च करना होगा। Bye.